Hello there, Twitch. I've lost my stylus. There it is. Figured I'd do a stream during the day. It's been a while since I've done a daytime one. Working on the last 2 pages of Savage Sasquanaut, issue 4, the epilogue, pages 23 and 24. So I figured I'd just kind of get down into it. Yeah, you know, I'm here. If anybody joins, that would be freaking awesome, especially if they decide to, hang out and chat. If not, the work is saved for posterity for the future, if it ever actually matters. But maybe one day it will. You never know. Uh, I worked a long time at Antarctic Press, and even before I was working there, they had been done and created Warrior Nun. Not my favorite title that was created there by far, but nonetheless, it has now become a Netflix show some 25, 30 years later. So, you never know what's going to happen. So, who knows? Maybe one day, these videos may matter because maybe this will become something in the future. That would be pretty cool. But at the end of the day, I just want to make some cool comics. So I'm opening up previous pages because, so this dude here, this is Lieutenant Camden from the previous issues. He's actually, I don't know what I was doing on that first issue, but I did some wacky choices on colors. But anyway, so I'll just redo it. So he's actually a hologram in this panel, despite the flats. The flats don't actually represent what he's supposed to be. So, but it's this room on this page that they're in. Trying to get my daughter to go to sleep. She is unbelievably tired and absolutely refusing to take a nap. She keeps waking up early lately. It's more than a little frustrating and tiring. I don't know what I was thinking of. So, if you remember from one of my previous streams, I'm pretty sure colors for that's this, but I want to. I think I want to do a different time of day. I've colored the city shot twice now, and I've kind of kept with this original thing. I think I may just want to do like a nighttime, just to give me something different to do, But I may decide against doing that just for the sake of ease. You never know. I guess once I get into it, that's when I'll officially decide what I want to do. Because doing something new means it's going to be a bit more uh, time consuming because I got to figure it out. That's okay. It's just going to be feeling mentally, emotionally. I don't know if you can hear my daughter. She's in the background a little bit. I got the door closed, but she's a little fussy today. But hopefully, so anyway, forget all that. So this guy right here, being he's going to be the hologram, he's going to be the point of interest. That's kind of why I'm working this radial grad from here. It'll help focus the eye, and that's because he's the most important. That's the most important stuff on this page. Uh, oh my goodness, she is upset. Please go to sleep, child. Um, she is so tired. It's unbelievable. She just really doesn't want to nap right now. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna keep the room mostly dark because it'll help pop this dude his his brightness, uh, his crazy design element. You know, it's pretty cool. I don't really know what it's supposed to be, which is sometimes challenging. I'm tempted to make that lights, but I don't want it to be too distracting. If I make it lights, goodness, next baby girl. We got family coming in on Friday. Very much looking forward to them getting here because they can take care of it and entertain her. She is angry. She is tired and angry. That's kind of neat. So my instinct was to go dark, but sometimes I want to go against my instinct just because that's the obvious choice. So, okay. You want to make this dude a hologram. Issue one, I established the holograms are pretty much blue. I don't remember what elements of this dude was white, so I'm going to pull up my model sheet so I can make sure old Lieutenant Camden looks like he's supposed to look. Yeah, he had black gloves. I did not. I wasn't sure if he had black or white gloves. Move that there. Get my lighting on another light. Let's initially figure it out. This one, usually I do like a radial grad to fill the spot. With the hologram, I'm just gonna fill it. Like it's just gonna be a flat fill. So what I do is I hold Control Backspace and it just fills whatever the color is in the background on this element. Okay. Okay. That's something I'm gonna adjust here. Didn't realize I did secondary lighting on him for some such reason, and I didn't remember doing that. That's all right. I'll just subtle. That way he's got a little shape. So you see, it's high. The bright spot is bright. Uh, there is no. And now I'm just gonna sure I get it right from here on out, so I don't have to redo and redo and redo and redo. These were white, it's black. It's white. Okay. Keep the same colors as bandages. Bandages is white. I don't always remember what it. That's why I do the lighting separate, because I don't always remember. All right, let's get some tune skis on. It's like the most bumping elevator music. That's ridiculous. So I don't want these gold pads to be darker than the dark red, or even though it's all blue. It's kind of the value is today. For whatever reason, this playlist keeps repeating the same songs. Repeat's not on, but it'll play the same song twice before it'll move on. I don't really know why. Spotify being all glitchy, I guess. Other jerk character. I've got a few jerk characters. I don't know why I made some jerk characters. Just because they're easy to write. say. Except the Empress is a jerk character. I actually really like. He's a really fun character. But and the inspiration for the Empress, kind of what she's modeled after. If you're familiar with the old Buck Rogers TV show, she's essentially an analog of Queen Ardala. Even the names are Empress Dahlia, Queen Ardala. So there you go. There's a revelation. Definitely have a lot more I want to do with that character. It's funny, like when I developed the story, truly the goal was to do self-contained, more or less done in one stories. Like I just really wanted to try my hand at doing more or less one-shots that all tie together. And I think I'm pretty successful, say for, the last issue, last two issues, which is our two-parter. But they all come together. But to that end, being several years removed from initially developing and writing these and moving forward, were I to do it all over again, I would do things a bit differently. These characters like Empress Ardala, or Empress Dahlia, see, I called her by the wrong name because I was just talking about her. Like Empress Dahlia, had grown to really, really, really like writing her and the interactions and stuff. And I kind of wish I spent more time there, just wholly because I had more fun. I think readers in general are enjoying her. Not that they don't enjoy the other characters, but I think there's a better vibe, more consistent feel, and she's super interesting. All these other dudes are, I think there's quite a bit to them, but they're not quite as impressionable as the Queen, as the Empress. I think she's probably the most interesting of the villains. So kind of wish I had a little more time with her in this series, but I'm already planning and thinking about the next one. She's definitely much more prevalent. I'm not doing the single issues, building into a single volume. It's just going to be self-contained graphic novels. So it'll be anywhere between 40 and 60 pages in theory. And they'll be Sasquanaut, I think. Though I did introduce Sovieti this last issue. I do have some stuff with her too. that character will definitely be in the next volume. But just depending on how the story plays out, it'll be kind of either the mini boss or secondary, or if it starts playing out too long, she'll be the main focus of it. So definitely have more to do. But as always, page count is my enemy. Page count and time. This all the characters I wish I had a little bit more time with. I think Sasquanaut hit him right. Everybody just a little more, a couple pages here.
I feel so far from my home till the lights start fading. Streets come alive in the night when we're alone.
Work something out. I haven't talked to him in a while. I don't know if he's still with.
Your thoughts are naked tonight in this neon glow, lit up like a firefly. Your circuits are online and ready to go. Open yourself to me, prepare to entwine. Breathing in binary, our systems align. Searching for frequencies and scanning through time. Both lost in the data stream that's linking our minds. Now I don't feel so alone.
Spoke last night about my situation.
When the lights start
Hey, what's up, Nordic Forge? How you doing? I was doing black gutters with the white frame for villains. So you got to so I wasn't nearly as consistent as I thought I was. Oh well. So now I guess I don't need to bring myself in. You can't hear me? Alright, let me turn down. I didn't realize it was so loud. How's that? Is that better? Good. Yeah, feel free whenever with anything like that happens, just say like, hey, shut up. Music or whatever. This one I like, man. It's like one of the few songs in the Twitch stream I like. That's from Scandroid. Scandroid I like pretty well. Most everything else I don't like. But it's the best that the Twitch music library offers. There's a bunch of Cell Dweller, which is okay. It's similar to Scandroid, but not as good. And even Scandroid I don't think is near as good as Gunship. Gunship is the best. But they don't have any Gunship on there. And what's funny is I figured out how to move my Twitch videos onto YouTube, and YouTube still flags some of my videos for the music that I technically have permission to stream, and so parts of the videos from Twitch are getting muted on YouTube. So I don't know. It's weird, dude. Like I don't quite understand it. I wish I did. but I don't. Okay, so she's wearing gloves. That line indicates she's wearing gloves. I didn't get the. I should have. Yeah, we'll just use that color. That'll work. Good. It's not a good color. Let's go this one. That's accurate. Yeah, it'd be really nice if like Twitch or YouTube or whatever would get some kind of deal lined up with Spotify or whoever, so I could stream whatever the crap I wanted, but they would still pay pay the artists, and I wouldn't
You
get in
gotta
trouble
come
for
see the
having
new Big
copyrighted
Lots.
material playing. That would be
We're
really
going
nice.
big with a great new look in the store.
I don't
and
think you
lots
could
of great deals
probably
on everything for your home,
save
from
those
food and furniture
videos,
to
you
housewares,
know,
home decor, and
like
more.
it could probably
Big
be
brand
worked
names you'll
only
love,
for
low
live,
prices
but
you'll love even more,
I don't know
and
if you
big
could archive
buyouts
them
that'll
like
blow
that.
your mind. There are
Like I
always
don't think
big
I could move
surprises
into
in store.
YouTube or anything, because
So come check
how
out
would
the
you
new
pay
Big
those
Lots.
guys then?
Live big,
Type
save
of thing.
lots.
But I think you could maybe work something out. Like, okay, these are your live videos and these are your archive videos. And your live videos, you could maybe do that, and it wouldn't archive them, type of thing.
Hiding an order of fries, they're never
Oh.
hiding it well. It
That's
takes one
the
whiff to
the
trigger
dream,
a
I
fried
guess.
craving that will only be satisfied the McDonald's way. So stand up if you
But
would
like
like
you
to
said,
taste the smell of a McDonald's fry right now.
The trials and
Did you just
tribulations
stand? Because
of
if you did, then you
modern
earned yourself a trip
streaming
to the
media.
McDonald's drive-thru for your own steamy carton of crispy golden goodness.
I was hoping you'd show up, buddy,
My
because
favorite morning routine is
I
stabbing
know it's been a
myself in the
few
eyes
since
and
I
putting
did
my contacts in.
daytime
Oh my god, I was
streams,
so
and I was like,
pumped
well,
up today
I
when
gotta
my
get back
powder
into my
stuck in
daytime
glasses.
streams.
Snapped
So
them right in two. Awesome.
At
I was hoping you'd show up since I did my daytime stream
stream
now.
Glasses and contacts. Call
So welcome.
844-265-2020. Right now, we're extending our 20% friends and family discount to patients treated in July who mention this ad. 20% discount applies
So,
to wave light procedures.
this first
lifetime
panel
free.
is this
Must
same
mention this
city
ad at center and be
from this
treated in
panel
July
that's here.
2020 to qualify.
But I think I want to do a
See
nighttime
details at
shot because
LASIKplus20.com.
I've colored this city
And you can hear my
2 or
rock
3
music
times, and
and all the rest of my music on my Inside
I'm bored.
Website
I kept
stream.
doing this just because it was already
Follow
figured
me on
out, but
Spotify.
I don't want to do that anymore. So that's why we're doing something new. And and see, we got this. Spotify's got this weird error now where on this playlist specifically, it keeps playing. It plays a song twice before it moves on, and it's not on repeat. Like I've checked it a jillion times. It's just keeps repeating it. It's really kind of frustrating. Let's see, what do we got here? This code. Let's see. Sketchbook. Is that an app? I'm not familiar with that one. Is that like Procreate or something? Yeah, it's a bit different way of thinking. It really is. Yeah. Are you doing it on a phone or a tablet? That's better. Don't try a phone. I tried that just as a whim one time, just like let's see what happens. And it was horrible. I will say, a friend of mine got one of those like Apple Pro things, and you got the Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil is actually pretty cool. It's about as close to like a Wacom stylus as you're going to get on a tablet. Yeah, phone would be small, but you know, people are pretty creative. They manage to use tools wouldn't expect and make it work for them somehow. I think I remember several years ago seeing like I think it was on a iPhone, like Jim Lee did a quick sketch using some cheap free app. You just kind of finger painted a picture of the Joker and it looked like the Joker, you know. Obviously he's never gonna like print it or put it in a book or anything like that or draw a book with it, but it was pretty cool still. People are pretty good about making the best out of some of those situations. Me, I'm too finicky. If I don't like it, I just won't do it. No sense trying to figure it out. I just won't do it. I want it to be bluer than that. I'm gonna redo that. Bit better. Go a little brighter though. Yeah. That's a good skill to have. I don't really have that skill except in desperate times, and you know, you got your necessary evils, you just kind of make do. But you know, if it just comes to like, hey, let me figure out how to do this, if it's something I don't feel pretty good about pretty quick, I tend to not to. I will say the exception was initially when I got my very first like Wacom stylus tablet. I really did not like it to begin with, and I couldn't imagine how people used it to do the work I saw that they did. It took a week or two to get the feel for it. It really did. But once I did, I was like, oh wow, okay. And now, even to this day, I rarely use a mouse. I use a mouse to like scroll through the internet, because the scroll wheel on the mouse is still one of my favorite inventions ever. Yeah. No, that makes total sense, bro. Usually when there's a job to get done, you just kind of got to figure it out and get it done. You know, there's not really any options for it. You know, I figure when it comes to kind of my arting, if you will, for lack of a better word, I tend to skew towards comfort more than too much innovation. No, that's not true. I mean, it is and it isn't. That's selling myself short, I think. You know, I use a handful of different softwares because I figured out how to do specific things in other software. Like I'll use Painter at times. Not often, but there's a couple of specific things I can do in Painter pretty easily that I can't replicate as easily or as quickly in Photoshop, which I'm sure Photoshop can do it. But I figured out how to do it in Painter pretty quick and easy. And so I'll jump over to Painter sometimes. And it's a very niche aspect. It ends up being like kind of a adjusting clouds and smudges and stuff like that whenever I use like photo clouds and textures and stuff. I can do some specific things in Painter that are pretty freaking cool that would take more time if I can get it to even have the same look. And then there's another software, I think, what, Color Sketch or something like that, I recently discovered. I don't know where the thumbnail is. I got too many icons these days. But yeah, there's a free app called Color Sketch that's pretty cool. It's kind of like your filter gallery in Photoshop, but it does more and better. Problem is it works on a really small scale. Like big files don't really work well in it. But it's just fun, like fart around. I've used that a couple times just to see what's up and play. And I like that. It's pretty cool. It's just something fun to play in. I don't particularly have a use for it yet. If I ever will, but pretty neat and things like that. But most of the time when it comes to like deadlines, I'm just looking for whatever will get the job done the fastest. You know, when I have more time, I try to play around and I don't want to say innovate because I don't really view myself as an innovator, but try to create new techniques or new things for my own personal workflow. The Kickstarter did good, man. It actually did pretty good. It was the fastest funding Kickstarter so far, and there's quite a few caveats in that one, but it is the fastest funding one to date. But I did a shorter campaign, whereas typically it's a 30-day campaign. I did 23 days, so it's about 7 days a week shorter. And even still being a week shorter, it hit the level of funding faster, and even the end goal. It's not the most money ever raised. The very first Sasquanaut issue raised the most money with the most backers. But that's the big but. The first campaign had quite a few family and friends support it that I never would have expected to come out and support it, and that was really awesome. And many of those haven't been repeat backers, and there was, what was it? I did the math the other day. It was something like a 25% increase in new backers in this campaign. So that's really, really good. And like I said, we were just under meeting the goal from issue 1. Like just a little bit, just a couple $100. And so that's really, really good. The issue is at the printer now, and it's getting done up. I got the mini print postcards in just the other day. You know, these are the samples from the stretch goal. So these look pretty good. No, actually the COVID, that was one thing I kept it. I postponed another few weeks from actually launching because of all the COVID stuff. And the reason I went ahead and launched it is because I know several other people that had launched it, and Kickstarter in general had fewer number of projects going, but especially of the Kickstarter, of the comic books on Kickstarters, the comics were performing at a better percentage of funding. Like their goal was more campaigns were meeting their goal, and even there were more campaigns that were exceeding their goal by quite a bit. So yeah, that's why I went ahead and pulled the trigger, because I was real apprehensive about doing it at first because of everything, you know. But yeah, by and large, just from my other peers and stuff, you know, Kickstarter was actually doing pretty good. So yeah, I went ahead and did it, and we did a great job. I'm very happy with the numbers. You always want more, you know, but I specifically designed this campaign to be a lower expense campaign. You know, like these and the issue are the only new material I ended up selling. Like everything else is all material and merchandise I created in the first 2 campaigns. So I didn't have that much extra expense in the way of creating new merchandise. So that was really good. So my expenses are lower on this campaign, which we really needed because COVID's been really not nice to us either, like many people. So the lower the expenses on the campaign, the better, the more we can end up using to pay bills. You know, the exciting, fun joy of paying bills. But yeah, and like these are the last 2 pages of issue 4. This is page 23 that I'm currently working on, and there's 24. So my goal is either finish these today, and if not today, tomorrow. And I'll get the script finalized for the letterer and send that out to the letterer so he can get started. And hopefully I'll be getting the issue 3 books in next week, I'm hoping. And I'll start packing and shipping them, and people should have them in August, barring, you know, international backers. From everything I'm seeing, mail is totally screwed up due to COVID. You know, I'm seeing people in Canada had packages sent in March, and they were just getting them at the beginning of July. That's super duper slow. So I want to get everything out as fast as I can to try and get them to people as quick as I can. But the goal is to launch this current issue that I'm working on Twitch, to get this one launched in September sometime. So yeah, you know, there's a lot going on, and fortunately for the most part, Kickstarter's been really good, even amid the Corona pandemic. You know, there's been unfortunately loss of a lot of people since they're getting less projects. I was seeing that they are laying people off and have laid people off just because all their money comes from launching and successfully funding projects. So having
Wendy's breakfast.
fewer
A tomorrow that
projects
says bacon, not
launch,
bacon.
which means fewer
Where fresh
projects that are
eggs
successful,
reign
which
like
means less
opportunity.
money to pay their
Honey
staff,
butter
which is
goodness
unfortunate.
spread, and the frosty
But yeah, the issue 4 campaign,
And right now, tomorrow
I
brings
won't
even
be able to
more.
do
Like
what
a
I did
small
on issue
frosty
3
Chino for just $1
and just
with
do
any
the
purchase,
low
kind of
cost
more.
version.
That's right. $1.
I'll need to get some new
At
merchandise, and I'm
Wendy's,
gonna.
tomorrow's
I'd even
looking
on issue
good.
3, I cut
Offer
one
available
variant
for a
cover,
limited
so
time
instead of
only.
having 4
Participating
variant
U.S.
covers, I
Wendy's.
only did 3. So
It starts
issue
small.
4,
No
I'll
soy
go
milk,
back to having
almond is
4.
fine. Okay. But then your boss tells you to switch offices
4
with Jeff.
variant covers,
And when
which
buying a car, you know you
I
have to
can show you
compromise.
those. Those are all here. I keep
It's
tweaking them,
radically redesigned with zero
but
gravity seats,
you
a
can
quilted
mostly
leather
see.
interior, and it has the most standard safety features in its class.
So, no compromise then.
Here.
Okay.
Refuse
Okay,
to compromise
so
with the all-new Nissan Sentra.
I got a
Word
jillion
segmentation
variants of
2020
this
Sentra
one.
versus latest
I
in-market
think
economy
this is the
compact, faster,
final
better.
one.
See owner's manual for safety information. Availability of
That's
features vary by
the
vehicle model,
cover
model,
B
trim level, packaging, and options.
for
Face models can
issue
vary based on
4.
manufacturer's websites.
My favorite morning
One of them.
routine
As you
is
see,
stabbing
I've
myself
got
in
a
the eye from
handful
putting
of
my contacts in.
handful of
Oh my God, I
variants.
was
I don't
so
remember which
pumped
one I
up today when my
finalized
toddler
on.
stepped in my glasses. Snapped them right in 2.
And
Awesome.
At
then
LASIK Plus, we help
let's
free
see.
patients from the hassles of glasses and contacts. Call
There's that one. That's gonna be
844-265-2020. Right now, we're extending
cover
our 20%
C, if
friends
I
and family
recall.
discount to patients treated in July.
I've
Mention
tweaked
this
this one a bit
20% discount
recently.
applies to
I was
wave-like procedure with
reworking that
life-time
a little
plan.
bit.
Must mention this ad at center
And
and
then
be treated in
there's
July 2020 to qualify. Results may vary.
there's
See
this
details at
one. That'll be the
LASIKplus20.com.
Kickstarter exclusive, I believe.
Give yourself a little moment
I've
of
tweaked this one a little
the
bit. I might tweak it a
day-brightening,
little bit more.
thirst-quenching mango dragon fruit Starbucks
And
Refreshers
then
beverage.
cover
With
A is
tropical
just the
vibes served over ice. It's like a sip of sunshine. Download
cover
the
A is
Starbucks
just
app to order
this one
ahead.
here, like right in the middle. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. It's pretty fun. But yeah, you know, this is issue 1. Let's go back. So there's issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, issue 4, 5, and 6. So, you know, all the A covers just make this one big image, which I think is pretty cool. I will say, were I to do it again, I would have like I was trying to take it too literal. I probably would have reworked it where Sasquanaut did appear on each one, even though it's one big image. You know, live and learn. Like it might have been weird to have him 6 times, but in the long run, I think it would have worked better as the individual cover parts. Nice. Well, I'm glad you like that, man. All this stuff has been years and years in the making. It's ridiculous how long this has taken, and it's my fault. You know, I ain't gonna put that on anybody else. It's my fault it's taken so long. I'm trying to be a bit better about getting stuff more consistently done. The main battle right now is art. Art's always the hard part. You know, because I don't have any money. And I like to pay my artists. Paying artists is good. They deserve it. Artist is freaking awesome. You know? And yes and no. I'm not, in some instances, I mean, in the end of the day, I mean, comics is my job. I mean, I make comics. That's where I make my money and my living is comic books. My goal is to make my comics and make my living from my comics and not have to do freelance for everybody. You know, just more like, maybe I'll do this one because I want to, as opposed to I need money to pay bills. You know, it's not like I'm sitting here trying to get rich, and you know, I'm not really, you know. It would be cool to have kind of multimedia empire come from all this, you know, your Netflix deals or your TV shows or movies. That would be cool. I'm not saying that's not. That's not my goal though. You know, I just want to make awesome comic books and make a living off my awesome comic books. That's my goal. Everything else would be gravy. Because as I have come to learn more and more, the more quote-unquote successful you are in your job or whatever, especially in a creative job, the less ability you have to actually do that job. You spend all your time doing business. And I'm not saying I'm super successful. I do quite a bit of business that I just do not do, but you know, I have to. But I've been watching quite a few interviews and stuff with guys like Kevin Eastman, you know, from Ninja Turtles, and even a buddy of mine who's not in comics. You know, he's got a business based in streaming and TV and stuff like that. But he's had a few different businesses over the years, and I was talking with him at length one day, and he was just like, you know, every time his business gets to a point of success, as in profitable to a point where he can go off and sell it for enough money to do something else. What he started, like, he used to film and operate cameras and make TV shows and stuff like that, and he had a business about that. And by the time he sold that company, he said he wasn't ever doing what he started out doing, but which was what he loved doing. That's why he was doing it, because he loved doing it. And by the end, he wasn't doing any of that, which makes sense. And that's kind of the same thing, you know, when I was watching all these interviews with like Kevin Eastman talking about Turtles. You know, he's super glad to find this outlet and success with Turtles, but very, very, very quickly it became not about making comics, which is all he and Peter Laird set out to do, was to make comic books. very mindful of that. What's up? Tomorrow? Yeah. Okay. You still not sleeping? Maybe we should give her mojo. Maybe she's just hurt. Either. She's just not right. Okay. So, sorry about that. I forgot where I was. That's alright. You get the point, I guess. The goal is to make awesome comic books. No, Moose is fine. It's just baby girl. We think she's probably cutting some more teeth, which is why she's maybe refusing to nap and being finicky about eating. Because my girl likes to eat. She's not one that sits down and eats like a full meal. She kind of eats and grazes all day, which is both frustrating and cool. Because when you're sitting down for dinner, he's like, "Why don't you eat your dinner?" And she's not. Lunch, but yeah, now she's trying to do that. So we think she's got a couple more molars coming in. Moose is doing pretty good. He's just, you know, when he was sick, they shaved his belly so they could run an ultrasound on him. And once he was recovered, we went out walking, you know, taking for a walk like we usually do, and he was walking through grass and stuff like that, like he usually does. But now it's irritated his belly, giving him pretty harsh allergies. So his belly's broke out, kind of in a rash, and he had a follow-up checkup, and they gave him a clean bill of health, and that was already happening. They're like, oh yeah, with the shaved belly, that can happen. Well, it got bad enough, he kept scratching and doing everything. He actually kind of gnawed little sores into him that were bleeding. So we got him a cone of shame. So he's wearing a cone of shame now to keep him from biting and licking and scratching. And he's been in that since last Friday. And it's looking a whole lot better. I'll probably try and take him off on Thursday, maybe Friday. Just, you know, give him a real good chance to let it clear up, because he was just relentless, man. And I was petting him, and I just saw blood running on his arm. I'm like, what did you do? And he opened the sore just from gnawing. It's itching, so I mean, we're giving him Benadryl. And we've got like an anti-spray ointment oil that we put on him, and cone of shame, just getting him cleared up. He's had it rough, man. He's had it rough. It's not too fun for him. My boy. He's hanging in there. He's okay. He's still happy, you know, which is good. But I think we all need a break. My wife's parents are coming in on Friday, so that'll be really good. They can help entertain the child and everything. That'll be nice. I think we all just need a break. They can have fun with the grandbaby. Wife and I can go take a nap or something. Not that we're going anywhere. Just maybe go to sleep. Don't need to have. I like his little box here though. He's got all his like crazy Kirby looking designs on him. See, and there it goes. It's repeating that song again. It's driving me nuts. I like Scandroid, but give me a break. No, man, it's just a. So Twitch has a playlist of a few hundred songs, which most of them are terrible. And I've gone through and I've just kind of saved from their playlist to a new playlist on mine, and they're on there once. Repeat is turned off. It just plays it twice. You know, even though those songs are only listed on once, it's not on shuffle. It just goes through. It's bizarre. I don't understand it. I wish I did, so I'd make it stop. Let's go. I think we're just gonna go and yeah, there we go. Give these dudes a little bit of the curvy shape. I mean, I could use one from my computer, but then none of that's copyright free. Like, Twitch has this library set up in Spotify specifically as music that they have permission to restream and use during the streams. And it's mostly dubstep and hip hop. And I don't like dubstep. And while I like some hip hop, it's no hip hop I like. So it's like, yeah, I could use whatever, but eventually it'll get a problem where it'll start muting me even on even on Twitch. Like, there was one time I was just going and it played through my playlist and just automatically played something else, you know, just auto played into something off my playlist from the Twitch music, and which was not permissible and therefore not copyright free. And one of my archived videos from the stream it's got a couple minute chunk where they mute the audio because it's playing music that I technically don't have permission to play. And the really funny part is now I'm moving it to YouTube, even though the music I have permission to play doesn't have permission on YouTube, so they're still muting chunks of the video. I don't know. It's weird. I wish I could say I knew what was going on, but it would probably take more time and effort than I'm willing to invest to really figure it out. So I'm just gonna sit here and complain about it, and that's about it. You know, maybe one day I'll get to more effort and to doing something further, but at this point it's not that big a deal. Oh, I mean, I get it. I mean, being in a creative field, I don't particularly want people taking my comic for free. You know, it happens, whatever, but if I can avoid it, and and if I can get paid, even if it's just a handful of cents for using it, then yes, please. But
Is
yeah,
there anything more craveable than the smell of McDonald's fries? If someone's hiding an order of fries, they're never hiding it well. It takes one whiff to trigger a fry craving that will only be satisfied the McDonald's way. So stand up if you would like to taste the smell of a McDonald's fry right now. Did you just stand? Because
yeah.
if you did, then you earned yourself
Which in most cases, that one I wouldn't even mind. Like, that wouldn't bother me. Because I mean, I've got somebody's art as my wallpaper. I mean, that's not my art, but hey, cool. I dig it.
Can't see me right now,
but I'm not monetizing that. On my face. If somebody's trying to monetize, like, technically, I'm not using the music to monetize what I'm doing, but I can see how that can come into play, especially for somebody who's got hundreds and thousands of followers, and people coming and interacting on a
See the 2020
mass
FEP
scale.
Dental brochure for details.
My
Though we're a part
my
of these
1 to
days, we're
3
sharing more.
people
So,
that'll
at Geico, we'd like to
tune
say
in when I
thanks.
stream,
Thanks for sharing your
or
savage
more,
dance
well,
moves.
0
Thanks
to
for
3
sharing your
people that'll
DIY
tune in
haircut
when I
fails.
stream.
Thanks for sharing your inner lip
You
sync
know,
star.
nobody's gonna
Now,
make any
it's
music,
our turn to
make any
share.
money
With the
off
Geico
the
Give
music
Back,
that I
a
stream.
15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. Because we're committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy
I would feel
term.
fine,
Visit
especially like, yeah, man, this is
geico.com/giveback
that
for
guy.
more
You should go
info and
check out his
eligibility.
stuff. You know,
Hey guys, it's Halsey, and you can hear my
I
new
would be
album
okay
and
with it.
all the rest of my music on my Inside My
I think a
playlist.
lot of people
Follow
would
and
be,
listen right here on Spotify.
especially giving credit. Now, if they took it and were claiming credit for it, that would not be cool. I would not like that. You know, credit is where credit's due. You know, like this is a sketch by Craig Mullins. You know, so credit to Mr. Mullins. He's mostly works in movies, done some video games, but that dude's mind blowing. I used to go to his website all the time that he like rarely ever updated, and I haven't been there in years. I should probably go see if he ever updated, if he even exists. But he does like matte paintings for movies. You know, he did a bunch of stuff for like Forrest Gump and just a ton of movies. I was like, oh man, that's really, really cool. And done stuff for video games, key art, animation.
Yeah, I've been drinking. You already
But
know.
yeah,
Do I smell like escape? Probably so. I found your tape in
really
my
just,
old collection, put it in, pushed play,
I don't
then
mind
poured
people
a
using my
fresh
art as
one.
long as they
I look back
just
with
be
a
like, hey
hesitant
man,
laugh,
this
but
is
in
that guy's
reality,
stuff.
started
It's
down
freaking awesome. Go
memory
check it out.
trials and suffering we shared with each other.
Don't do
A lot
that.
of people thought that we were actually brothers. You
I'm
know
glad I got
me.
paper towels here.
You know I'm a control freak. Who told you you could die before me? Gone, another dog lost to the wild. I feel like a snot-nosed child. And when I hear your smile,
I mean, I've even got a buddy. His artwork was literally stolen and turned into a t-shirt. And he liked the t-shirt so much that they made from his artwork. He reached out just to like, bro, send me some t-shirts. That's all he wanted. He didn't even care that they were selling. He just wanted to get some t-shirts. Well, they pulled it down and they stopped selling it, and he never got his t-shirts. Which I guess, you know, that's good they pulled it down, but, you know, it would have been cool if he at least got his t-shirt out of it. For everybody, it's different, you know. And again, that was artwork he did for a comic book. It was of Transformers, so I mean, it's not like it was even his character. So I think that's probably why he was more like, whatever, I don't care. If it was his characters, he may have a bit more precious feeling about it. Where I'm like, yeah, if you're cool with letting me make this t-shirt, sure, out of your artwork that I stole, okay. But I mean, there's there's all kinds of, like, the more I think about it, the more I think of friends of mine. And to my knowledge, I don't think anybody's stolen my artwork. Not that I've found. But, you know, a buddy of mine who did a chibi version of Star Wars characters specifically, and he just did it to make, just for fun. You know, he wasn't selling them or anything like that. He did them, posted them up on DeviantArt several years ago, and he turned them into like an alphabet, you know, so, you know, like C was C-3PO or Chewbacca or something like that, you know, L was for Luke and D was for Vader, Darth Vader, you know, stuff like that. It was cute and adorable. S was Stormtroopers. Dude, he's had like all those characters ripped off into so much stuff. Like somebody went and literally turned his Darth Vader artwork from this chibi Darth Vader, had them printed on condoms and was selling them, you know, and the whole marketing was like, I'm not your father type of thing. Really funny. And I knew it went far and wide when my cousin that lives in Alaska, who has no interest or association with comics or any of, she's reposting these like, oh, these are so funny, check these out. It's like, I want to get some. And I was like, Like, yeah, they're funny. Don't get them because that's literally my friend's artwork that was stolen. You know, don't give those people money. You know, but that's just the way it is, and you know, it's unfortunate and true. I mean, that's why you see advertisements for, you know, oh, get these cool pictures posters printed on your wall, and they're like triptychs or quadrics. I don't know. Where it's like 3 or 4 or 5 different panels. I think they're all printed on canvas. It's like one image, but oh, you see them, they're hanging above. You'll see like Dragon Ball Z, and Star Wars, The Witcher, and all kinds of different stuff. They look freaking awesome. All that artwork's illegal. Like, all that stuff's just stolen from people. Yeah, I see someone's like, man, that'd be cool. I want that, but I know it's not legit. And I was like, I'm not gonna get that, but you know, I would hope fans don't do that, but I totally get why fans do, because they're fans. They don't care. They just want cool stuff. Most of the time, it's not done maliciously on the consumers end. You know, it's just the people that make it that are usually the bad guys. So
Yeah, I've been drinking, you already know.
gotta be careful who you get mad at.
Probably so. I found your tape in my
You get mad at the wrong
collection,
people,
put
it
in, pushed play,
can come
then
back
I
to
poured
bite
a
you and
fresh
look
one.
bad.
I look back with a hesitant laugh, but in reality it's dark down memory.
Fans are just
lane.
fans. They just want to like what they like, and that's about it.
A lot of people thought that we were actually brothers. You know me. You know I'm a control freak. Who told you you could die before me? Gone. Another dog lost to the wild. I feel like a snot-nosed child. And when I hear your smile, it's outlined in sadness. You poked holes in the magic. You taught jokes to the clowns that never learned how to appreciate the lights before the bulbs burns out. Flicker.
So he's gonna be lit more from this hologram character here. So I'm gonna have him with blue and highlights.
Yeah, I've been thinking, you already know. Do I sound frustrated? Probably so. Sometimes I feel guilty, I was out on the road. If I'd have seen where it was going, I'd have stopped the whole show. I realize it ain't realistic. I keep trying to make the pieces fit with the info presented. I felt resentment. I held this against myself. I wanna help my friends. It stays in my head that I was on a stage when you were laying in bed. Body was discovered by your own mother. It penetrates my chest. I still taste the regret that I slept through a late night call from your homie. But then I spoke with Sadiq the next morning. And then I smoked 1 million cigarettes. Go figure, maybe I was trying to catch up with you. Flicker. Yeah, I've been thinking, you already know. Do I look exhausted? Probably so. I don't get much sleep. I'm not sick, I'm fine. I'm just trying to make the most of this limited time. And I'm missing you, but I ain't gonna lie. The distance grew between I. And at the end, even though we didn't speak enough, you were easily one of the best people I've loved. And now I'm trying to write a song for a dead songwriter that wrote their own songs about life and death. And every breath is full of self-awareness.
Yeah, I think this is one of the few hip-hop songs I found so far on the Twitch list that I enjoyed. I've never even heard of these guys. You know, good for them. I think I even sampled some of their other stuff, and I didn't even like the other stuff they offered. I should keep going and listening though. There's a ton of stuff on there. There really is. There's so much. It's actually hard to listen to. Darker. That wrapped up. Boom. Help break up the monotony of it. Repeating the thing, man.
You gotta come see the new Big Lots. We're going big with a great new look in the store and lots of great deals on everything for your home, from food and furniture to housewares, home decor, and more. Big brand names you'll love, low prices you'll love even more, and big buyouts that'll blow
Every
your
single
mind.
song
There
on my
are always
playlist.
big surprises in store. So come check out the new Big Lots. Live big, save lots.
Oh, this is the playlist. It's currently in a commercial.
Geico knows there are many reasons
But yeah,
why you ride.
you see
From
every
camaraderie
song
of
it's
other
wants
bikers,
is Mood Swings,
band
Night
of
Market,
brothers,
Nomad's Way,
always
one
there
more.
for you, rain or
Every time it
shine.
plays
To
a
the
song,
amazing savings
it'll
you
then
get with
play it a
Geico
second
on your
time
motorcycle
before
insurance
to
and
move on.
accessories coverage all
You
year
know, this is the
round.
repeat
But
button.
for
It's
Bucky
off.
Thornhill,
Now it's
it was
on.
one reason in
Now it's on
particular.
again.
It
Now
was
it's
my
off.
helmet hair. I was born with helmet hair.
You
I've
know,
tried
so
to cut it a bunch
repeat's
of
not
times,
on.
even buzzing it, but it immediately just goes back to helmet hair.
Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Some
I don't know what
things
the deal
are
is.
guaranteed, like delicious Mrs. Baird's bread. Right now, our great taste
Frustrating.
guarantee on select favorites ensures you'll love our bread.
Wonder if I
or
should
your
just
money
like
back.
delete it
It's kinda
completely
like
and
how
just
people from Texas
remake it. Maybe that
love
would do it.
Texas.
I just don't want
It's
to have to go through all
guaranteed.
that.
That's
This is kind
Mrs.
of annoying.
Baird's. Texas born, Texas bred. Exclusions apply.
But
See
I could
special
annoy
marked
myself
packages
once
or
and
visit us
fix it
online at
maybe, or
mrsbairdstasteguarantee.com
just be
for
annoyed
offer
every single time I
details.
play it. So
Ever wonder where the
it's probably
capital
what
A
I
in
will
Chick-fil-A
try
came from? It started with grade
and
A
hope it
top
works
quality
because
chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A. The
I really
A in
don't want to keep
Chick-fil-A
doing
is
this
for
over
all
and
the
over and
little
over and
things
over
we
again.
do to bring you our best every day.
reasons to doubt. Try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out. You can't get
like you should actually have a there should be a tab probably underneath the monitor saying what's playing on Spotify, like what song is the artist. Pretty sure that should be there. Like you can watch this song's called Heavyweight. It's 3 minutes long. You know, it'll probably play again. And baby girl's awake again. She slept for 20 minutes. Yeah. I could see that if I, you know, was on shuffle. But I'm not even on shuffle. I don't know.
Push me down to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out. You can't get
Let's just get in here and I'm gonna fix the flats on this so I can know what I'm doing to finish up this panel. Maybe. I mean, I could see that too, but because I mean, it's if I was specifically using somebody else's playlist, maybe. But this is a playlist I made from an approved playlist, and the approved playlist is, you know, probably 1,000 some odd songs. Here, let me. I can actually pull it up. You know, so this is mine, and there's what? There's oh, it just changed. I didn't intend to do that. There's 54 songs in this, whereas the Twitch music library is 1,190 songs. You know, and everything I put in my place is from here. I mean, I really don't know. I wish I did. I don't know. We'll just have to figure it out another day, I guess. I'll just get my city here fixed in the flats. What I'll probably end up doing is leaving here, going to go make lunch.
She might cry herself to sleep tonight. You might act like everything feels alright. I might bite my lip like the silent type. You might make a fist like you trying to fight. Got ghosts that haunt that home. And if you didn't want that known, then don't put it on a throne. You separate the foe from the friend by the showmanship and the bones that don't bend. So now I'm studying your moves like you the only one that knew how to do right. Presented with a sleeve of success, like we all benefit if you achieve and progress. Maybe you're right, maybe I'm just left, but unless you walk a flight in my steps, but unless you slept the night in my nest, you shouldn't waste your breath to criticize my mess. I love you like a brother, even though I'm not your brother. We all got a few flaws, but let's try not to get too lost in the applause. I love you like a sister, even though you're not my sister. We all got a few flaws, but let's try not to get too lost. Used to be rock, but now it's roll. Looking at the clock on the remote control. The circle contracts till you all alone. I put that on the people you've outgrown. And maybe it was all for show, but it was so convincing that the ground got cold. I guess anything's possible. Under a spotlight, we all got a note to hold. It goes, don't throw no stones if you're living in a fishbowl. Blow a kiss though, where the aim is based on which way the wind floats. And pride is a bottle on a fence post. I keep the shoes laced up in case the people I love come to shoot the place up. I know we ain't cut from the same cloth, but a lot of those fights were just to say we fought.
So what are you up to today, Nordic Forge? You at work, or what's going on in your world?
It doesn't matter how far you run from it, you're still gonna find it. You come from it. And even though we all equivalent, we gotta hold on to the differences. We gotta stand up for what we won't fall for. Let's get a round of applause for all of y'all. I love you like a brother.
What do you program?
Even though I'm not your brother, we all got a few flaws, but let's try not to get too lost in the applause. I love you like a sister, even though you're not my sister. We all got a few flaws, but let's try not to get too lost.
Pretty non-existent at this point. In high school, we had a class where I learned a bit. I want to say it was C, maybe C+. I don't recall. I live in Texas. Maybe I'll use it. Or maybe not. I don't know. Probably not. I live in San Antonio. In the middle of COVID Central.
She might cry herself to sleep tonight. You might act like
well, fine. I won't use it then. I'll show you.
You might make a fist like you trying to fight. Got ghosts that haunt that home. And if you didn't want that known, then don't put it on a throne. You separate the foe from the friend by the showmanship and the bones that don't bend. So now I'm studying your moves like you the only one that knew how to do right. Presented with a sleeve of success like we all benefit if you achieve and progress. Maybe you're right, maybe I'm just left, but unless you walk a flight in my steps, but unless you slept the night.
What, am I living in San Antonio?
Shouldn't waste your breath to criticize my mess. I love you like a brother, even though I'm not your brother.
And you working on something for San Antonio?
But let's try not to get too lost in the applause. I love you like a sister, even though you're not my sister. We all got a few flaws, but let's try not to get too lost. Used to be rock, but now it's roll. Looking at the clock on the remote control. The circle contracts till you all alone. I put that on the people you've outgrown. And maybe it was all for show, but it was so convincing that the ground got cold. I guess anything's possible. Under a spotlight, we all got a note to hold. It goes, don't throw no stones if you're living in a fishbowl. Blow a kiss though, where the aim is based on which way the wind flows.
Before I go to lunch, I
And
can
pride
feel
is
like
a bottle on a fence post. I keep the shoes laced up in case the people I love come to shoot the place up. I know we ain't cut from the same cloth, but a lot of those fights were just to say we fought. The mother turns, life is fragile. The struggle burns from inside of the candle. It doesn't matter how far you run from it, you're still gonna find it. You come from it. And even though we all equivalent, we gotta hold on to the differences. We gotta stand up for what we won't fall for. Let's get a round of applause for all of y'all. I love you like a brother, even though I'm not your brother. We all got a few flaws, but let's try not to get too lost in the applause. I love you like a sister, even though you're not my sister. We all got a few flaws, but let's try not to get too lost.
It's the lightning completely. My gloves are a little lost in the color hold. Understood. I will do my best to make it as interesting as I can. Gonna brighten this up altogether. More blue. His pants. So just get that. Dot. There. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of. I will say I do enjoy what I do. It definitely has its downside, like every job. And I've been in a pretty heavy, hardcore state of burnout for a little while. And honestly, the best cure for my burnout was getting back and doing more of my own creator stuff like Sasquanaut and everything else I got going on right now, which I was not putting a lot of effort into because I was burnt out, and it turns out that was probably what I should have been doing to get out of my burnout. Yeah. So lesson learned, I guess. Oh yeah, dude, because it's relentless. It's absolutely relentless. I mean, because one, you're freelance, so every time you have a job and that you're currently doing,
Our show takes
you
you
also
on the
have
messy
to
world of news
always
and internet
work
fights to
to
find
have
out
the
what's
next
real,
job that
what's
followed
not,
up
and
and
what's
trying not to
somewhere in
have any
between.
gap. And
And
then
this season, our show is
if
all
and
about
when
the
one job runs
coronavirus.
long,
We're
that means
answering
it runs
questions
into
like,
another
should
job,
we be
which
wearing
means you're
homemade
doubling up on the
masks,
work.
like from
And
t-shirts?
All of those properties that we like in our t-shirts make them
it's
problematic to use as a mask.
hard,
Listen for
very,
free on
very hard.
Spotify or wherever you get your
And then
podcasts.
you're
Just search for Science VS.
dealing with
Do you have Medicaid and Medicare? Get a top-rated plan with more benefits.
rates.
Every
And
year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a
people
five-star
want to
rating
ask, like,
system.
what's your rate to do
United
this or
Healthcare
that?
is proud
And
to have been awarded 5 out of 5
I would
stars
love to
for the
just
2020
say
plan year for
it's
quality,
this.
customer service,
I mean, I
and
could,
more. And we're proud
but
to have
honestly, I would
WellMed
probably
in our
lose
network.
out
Get more
on a lot
benefits.
more
Call
work.
United Healthcare at
So
1-844-201-0074.
my rate, unfortunately, fluctuates a
CMS
whole
star
lot more
rating
than I
applies
would
to
like it
contract
to,
number
just
H4590.
for
Other
a variety
providers
of
are
reasons.
available in
One,
our network.
how much I need a job,
Some
so you can
things
keep paying
are
bills. But
guaranteed,
two,
like delicious Mrs. Baird's bread.
what
Right
somebody's
now,
budget is,
our
and
great
if I
taste
like the
guarantee on
project.
select
'Cause,
favorites
if I
ensures
really
your
like a
love of the
project,
bread
that's
or
a
your
big
money
selling
back.
point to me,
It's kind of
because
like how people from Texas
I've done a lot of projects and a
love
lot of work that
It's
I don't care
guaranteed.
about the
That's
project
Mrs.
at
Baird's.
all,
Texas
but I got
born,
paid,
Texas
so that
bred.
was good.
Exclusions apply.
But
See specially marked packages or
you
visit
kind of
us
want
online at
to enjoy the work you do. It's kind of
mrsbairdstasteguarantee.com
why the whole
for
reason
details.
you get into making comics is because you want to enjoy your work. But so I wish I could say it was easy or in that regard, but it's really not. And it's a very much nepotism and favor driven industry. So it's a lot about who you know, and it's a lot of what have you done for me lately type of thing. So you know, I had the audacity at one point to, you know, turn down jobs because I had too much work. There was no way I could, one, get them done on time, or two, do them to a level that would make myself or anybody else happy. And the unfortunate reality is, once you start turning down jobs, they stop asking you to do the next job. You know, which, like, oh, well, you're busy. Well, I was 3, 4, 6 months ago when you asked, but it doesn't mean I am at that moment. You know, you can always come back. So it's very much like, oh, once you say no, you kind of shoot yourself in the foot. Yeah, and honestly, like I said, I had such horrible burnout that I truly had to say no. Like I absolutely, just for my own sanity. 'Cause I mean, you know, not to get into too much, it'd be all woe is me, but it got to the point where I was nearly suicidal. So it's just kind of like, I just gotta step back, do what I need to do. I tried to shift my focus on my job. I started working with new people. I built a convention. I worked with a convention that became like one of the biggest conventions in Texas, which turned into its own giant disaster of a mess. You know, but I put a lot of effort into that to try and, like, let me shift focus, and, you know, I'll keep doing this, but I'll put more emphasis on that because it's more sustainable. And then that became just a giant mess. And so then it became like, all right, well, let's try and re-get the freelance stuff back up and running and get that to a point. I'm definitely not where I was, say, 5 or 6 years ago, freelance wise. I'm not saying it's bad. Like, I'm not. It's just kind of a different state. But even then, my interest lies more in my own creator-owned stuff than somebody else's. So that's why I'm trying to shift more focus into Kickstarter and funding and doing things that way. Because even the other comics I used to work on that were creator-owned or that I was writing, you know, I never made any money off those. So, you know, like with Kickstarter, I'm actually making a little bit of money. I mean, it's not a lot, but I see potential among some of my peers and friends that are found some pretty amazing success, and I think that's something I could hopefully, and I'm trying to replicate, but also do it differently. You know, not, you know, just kind of content wise. You know, they're doing what they do and what they see is viable and what they're interested in, and that's great. I'm more interested in kind of this stuff over here, so I'm going to try and do that and find my own way this way. You know, I still do some freelance stuff here and there because it still pays the bill. But even now, my freelance work is super indie. I mean, it's all other Kickstarters and self-publishing guys. Like, I keep reaching out to, you know, I still have contacts at every major publisher, and I reach out every couple months like, hey, what's going on, you got anything? And it's no, nothing. And COVID has just messed up the comic industry as a whole right now, and pretty much the only people that are really doing okay are the self-publishing Kickstarter Indiegogo guys. You know, everybody else is just trying to keep their head above water. It has messed up the world. I'm not trying to say, hey, here, just comics. Like, it has. It's impacted everybody, you know. But I would say, come, you know, or this past April and May, I don't know how tied into the comics world you were, but I mean, comics for the first time in 40 years had literally stopped coming out, which, if ever, I mean, ever since they started coming, I don't think they'd ever stopped complete publication. So it was just, it was a mess, man. Like, lots of small press, they stopped getting paid. We got the one distributor and they stopped paying just so they could shore up and make sure their people's done. I mean, it was all, yeah. I mean, it was all done just to, keep the industry open. But I mean, small publishers essentially went out of business because they stopped getting paid for the books that they'd already turned in and had come out, but everything shut down. I mean, comic store shut down, the distributor shut down, everything was closed. So I mean, it's put a ton of hurt on the industry. Like I said, I'm not trying to single out and say, hey, this is bad here and nowhere else. Like, it's bad everywhere, but comics were essentially nearly completely and utterly put out of business. There's not any other way to describe that, and it's only just barely starting, and we are already on a downward slope this year and last year. Like, numbers were already sliding, and so to have everything shut down, like, it was catastrophic for the industry, for businesses. So just trying to play a little bit of catch up. Yeah. Which it did too. Yeah, I mean, it's, as much as it's messed me up, because it's messed me up. It's nearly ruined some of my friends, and it's definitely made me glad that I have already started this self-publishing Kickstarter journey. And I've got friends now that, because of this COVID stuff and everything that happened in these last couple of months, they're only just now trying to figure out how and what to do in it. And some of them have found some pretty good success. Some of them are just kind of, they're just barely scraping it, and doing, not even hitting to the levels I'm at. And I'm not at a terribly high level. I'm really not. I'm still pretty new at it and still building. But fortunately, I've already started this. So, I mean, this latest Kickstarter, the fact that I went in, fortunately, already planning to have a very stripped down campaign, has seriously been in my favor. And yeah, I mean, it definitely is just one step ahead. I mean, that's just kind of by luck. I mean, it really is. I'm not saying I saw any of this coming. If anybody says they saw this coming, they're liars. I don't think anybody is like, hey. But, so, yeah, dude, comics is a disaster at the moment. Which is why most of my work is currently coming from indie Kickstarter, Indiegogo guys, Yeah. I mean, you say that anybody writes a post-apocalyptic story, but I don't think anybody saw it quite like this. But yeah, no, you're right. I should have watched more of the Doomsday Prepper Discovery show, so I knew what the stockpile. I wouldn't have thought it was toilet paper, though, I will say. Toilet paper was a surprise. I think I'm going to pause here so I can go pit stop and go make lunch, and I'll probably jump back on in a little while. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I can do that. That's no worries. You got me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. You can hit me up there. I don't even know if you can share images on the Twitch chat. I've not messed with the Twitch chat enough. But yeah, I'm open. You got my contact. Hit me up. Let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna run so I can make lunch and use the restroom. All right, buddy. I'll talk at you later. Bye.